Good morning, everyone here on News in Motion. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. It is May 25th, 2022. I'm your host for today, Isaiah Jones, um, media freelancer, the guy behind all the buttons here on News in Motion. And this morning, I'm stepping out of my comfort zone and kind of hosting the show today. Um, we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot to talk about. As many of you know, yesterday in Texas was tragic. It really is. It is sad, and a change needs to happen. Um, we can't keep saying, thoughts and prayers. No, we have to take action for situations like yesterday. I see some people coming in here. Hello, Miss Valerie Johnson. Hello, Ron Robinson, Miss Lori Wallace. How y'all doing this morning? Happy Wednesday. Miss Stephanie Burbridge Hall, good morning. Miss Patricia Lyles, good morning. Miss Adrian Gladys, I hope I said your name right. But good morning to everybody rolling in here. Thank you for tuning into News in Motion. For those listening by audio, thank you for taking time out of your morning to come and listen into informative news with us. We hope that you get to your destination safely, whether it be work, taking the kids to school, or if you're just going for a drive to get your coffee. We hope you get to wherever you're going safely. And once again, thank you for tuning in with us. For those on YouTube, thank you for joining us. Everybody here on Facebook, just thank you for supporting News in Motion. I see y'all rolling in here. Good morning, good morning, good morning, Lewis Pryor the third. Good morning, Miss Kimberly Graves. How is everyone doing this morning? Don't worry, we are going to talk about what happened yesterday in Texas. We are going to talk about that. But first, we got to get this news in motion. So let's get started.
News in motion.
I see you, Diane Ladybug. Good morning to you, and good morning to you as well, Miss Marian Jackson. All right, y'all. Let's just address the elephant in the room. Yesterday in Texas, in Utahville, Texas, it's depressing to even talk about. Man, it's just it's with a heavy heart that I have to report this. Good morning, Miss Kim Emerson. At least 18 children and one adult were killed after the shooting at Robb Elementary School Tuesday afternoon, according to Texas Department of Public Health. This is being reported by CNN, and let's just take time to just think about these last few weeks. First, you had a white supremacist drive almost 200 miles to Buffalo to attack African Americans in a supermarket, in a Black-owned community as well. And now this with an elementary school. Elementary school, y'all. These are kids that haven't even lived their lives yet. Kids that shouldn't have to worry about something like this happening. It just doesn't make any sense. We have to make a change. Something has to be done about this. We can't just sit around and, this be in the media for a few weeks and then we just forget about it. No, something has to change. Um, President Biden is also addressing the nation from the White House, um, saying that this is directly from him, and I quote, "I had hoped when I became president, I would not have to do this again," in referring to addressing the mass shootings happening across America. Um, he also says, "Beautiful, innocent second, third, and fourth graders, and how many scores of little children who witnessed what happened see their friends die as if they were on the battlefield for God's sakes." He finally also he wraps up by saying, "To lose a child is like having a piece of your soul ripped away." He says the feeling is also suffocating. And I totally agree with him. As you know, for those of you who are tuning in, if you're a parent and something happens to your child, that feeling, that feeling is just gut wrenching, and you don't know what to do, what to say, how to act. You just overcome with emotion and grief. To the families in Texas, know that we grieve with you. We are here with you. We are praying for you. Um, Also, still with the families of Buffalo. Um, it's just a tough time we're living in, y'all. We we can't keep doing this. We can't have our children be afraid to go to school because something like this might happen. We can't keep doing this. Um, and the suspect, who was 18 years old, has been deceased. Um, but something has to change. Patricia Lau says that was horrible in Texas. These shootings need to be stopped. Buffalo was horrible as well. The people that are holding office in DC need to put their differences aside and do their job for this country. Absolutely, absolutely. They need to do something about the gun laws. They need to do something about you know about everything that's going on. Um, Regina Short says they have not finished burying the victims from Buffalo, New York yet. Oh, man, this is it's a tough time to um for America right now. It really is, especially um for the youth of this country. You know, a lot of us don't like watching the news because it can be depressing sometimes, and I get that, but it's also informative to know this type of stuff. Um, you know, I I pray every day for the youth of this country, especially my younger brother. For those of you who know me, know that my brother is on the autism spectrum, and I might be able to hear him leave for school every day, but now I just I don't want to say I worry for his safety, but I'm definitely um his safety is my top priority. So um Miss Kimberly Graves says, "How are you as a young black man dealing with all this death?" Um, it's kind of hard to put into words how I'm dealing with everything. Um, I've seen all the news, and um, it's just it leaves me speechless sometimes. Um, I really can't put into words how everything plays out, and I just want to kind of be a light for a community that's going through a tough time. Um, you're right, Latrice Jones. We have to normalize counseling. I've said this before on News and Motion. it is important to talk to the youth because they keep so much stuff bottled in, and it's not good. It's not good for them physically. It's definitely not good for them mentally. So it's important to talk to the youth and, you know, have them, it may not be comfortable, but it's needed. It's necessary to to talk about the stuff that you're going through. You know, I know that some high schoolers are watching us, and some some as we're counting down to their graduation and prom. You know, it can this can be an emotional week for some. Some are emotional leaving school because they leaving some of their favorite teachers, the memories that they had there. Um, but sometimes it's also emotional because of the stuff they went through during the school year that they kept bottled up. So it's important to talk to somebody. Um, if you have a auntie, uncle, mom, dad, grandma, just vent to somebody. It's okay to vent. Um, it doesn't make you weak. It doesn't, you know, make you seem helpless at all. It actually makes you stronger to talk to somebody. Um, Miss Antoinette said we can't forget the survivors. Those babies saw the unimaginable. I can't imagine um, being in second, third, or fourth grade and watching what happened happen. I just can't. We when I was in those grades, we really didn't have to worry about that. All we really had to worry about was dealing with bullies and stuff like that. But in this age, to go to school and the unexpected happen, it's it's just I pray for this generation and the next generation because if stuff like this keeps happening, we I don't know what we're gonna do, y'all. I for real don't. Lori Wallace says it's very sad. It's even hard to talk about. Exactly. Like I know that we had to talk about this today, but it's it's still hard to talk about. Even like being part of the youth. Even though I'm kind of like on the young adult side, I hang out with a lot of the youth, so I can't imagine what some of these kids in Texas are going through. Um, but they will never be the same after what happened yesterday. Marianne Jackson says someone said in the U.S. Someone said the U.S. is the only country that has mass shootings due to the lack of gun restrictions. And you're right. We have to have a restriction on these weapons because incidents, excuse me, in Buffalo, and even, going back a few years, there was that incident in Las Vegas where someone was raining fire from a hotel, I want to say a hotel back balcony in Las Vegas. It's stuff like this that makes us look at the people in DC, the people in office, like, what are y'all doing? Where's the change? Where is the difference? What is happening? It's just the same thing, different city, different state, you know, with a different name. But it's just something needs to change. There has to be a change here. We can't keep saying, we're gonna take action, but we just sit on our butts all day, or we take action, or we say we're gonna take action and just post everything on social media. We can't. You can take action through social media, but where is the action? You know, going to going to vote and voting for laws to be changed or passed. Where's that action? Where's that action at to demand justice from these officers that say they're going to make a change, say they're going to make a difference, but never do? Where's the change at? Where's the difference at? Because if there is no change, if there's no difference, stuff like this is going to continue to happen over and over again. And it could happen anywhere. It can happen anywhere, y'all. It happened in Texas. It happened in Buffalo. God forbid it happens somewhere here in Ohio. At, let's say it happens at a middle school or a high school. It it can't keep happening. This can't keep happening. There has to be a change. So we I know that was a hard story, a hard topic to talk about. In other news, this is reported by ABC. U.S. attorney charges 19 in alleged drug money laundering conspiracy. This is reported by Quinn Owen yesterday by ABC News. Reports of drug trafficking um, have also been rampant recently in the U.S. The exchange is a means for Colombian drug trafficking organizations with profits generating by drug sales in the United States to launder their proceeds to the Colombian pesos. Each of these 19 defendants held a different role and responsibility, including drug supplying, peso brokers, money laundering, and dollar purchasers. So y'all, with these recent recalls and candy and stuff like that, be careful, what you're getting into. Um, it's definitely a crazy time here in America. Um, I see y'all in the chat. Ron Robinson said, let me scroll up here. As a parent, I just can't imagine the pain of those parents. The gun laws have to be changed. They have to. And I know it's up to us to take action and demand a change, but it's also up to the people in office to make a change. It's up to the legislators and the officers and those in their respective branch to make a change. There has to be a change. It's time. Patricia Lyles also says it's times also for parents and guardians to take time out of their day and have conversation with their children, especially if you see a slight change in their attitude. Exactly. Absolutely. If you see a change in your child's attitude or behavior, if they seem a little bit on edge, or if they're usually vibrant, joyful, and they seem kind of toned down, mellowed a little bit, sometimes they just could be relaxing, or other times they're going through something and they don't know, how to tell somebody or how to explain to somebody, what they're going through. We continue to make, this is from Elizabeth Towns. We continue to make it easier to get weapons, even assault weapons. This is the time we look at, this is the time we look at ourselves as well. Exactly. It's so easy to get an assault weapon nowadays. It's just easy. We have to have gun restrictions for this stuff. Though Marion Jackson says those who promise to make a change need to be put up or get out of office. Either make a change or step aside. Because these false promises, these lies that we keep being told, they gotta end. Because we're catching on to it, y'all. You say you're gonna make a change, but the only thing you're really changing is the gas prices. That's the only thing you're really changing for real. You're not changing stuff that's gonna impact this country in a good way. There's no change there. Make a change or step aside. Your silence speaks volumes. So either speak up and make a change or get out of office. And let someone who will make a difference into office. We talking about the real stuff here over at News and Motion. We talk about everything here, y'all. So before we get into game over with Kenny, I'm gonna liven up the mood a little bit with some historical facts about May 25th. Back in 1935, Jesse Owens broke the third world record in track at the Big Ten meet in Michigan. I know Miss Kim Edmondson is a big Michigan person. I know that for a fact. In 1977, the first Star Wars movie was filmed and opened in theaters across the U.S. In 1986, 7 million Americans participated in the Hands Across America. Um, I think that was correct me if I'm wrong, but that was an event that was something to heal with America or the world at the time. The world was going through a major um, event during that time. And finally, in 2013, Ukraine held its um, first gay parade, parade in Kevon. So that was just some historical facts about May 25th. And now we're going to bring in Kenny Stanley with Game Over. Come on in here, Mr. Kenny.
Hey, what's happening, everybody? Good morning, News and Motion family. Uh, Forgive me, I'm kind of fighting a cold, but I'm gonna be okay. We're gonna get through this. In the boring NBA, I ain't gonna say who said it was boring, but they said the NBA was boring. In the boring NBA, the Dallas Mavericks told the Golden State Warriors there'll be no celebrating on our court as they avoided a sweep by beating the Golden State Warriors 119 to 109. The Mavs were led in scoring by Luka Doncic, who had 30 points. I'm not saying that they're going to win the series because I do believe this series is over. I just don't think the Mavs have the firepower to come back, being down 3-1 now. I'm not going to say it doesn't happen, but I don't think it's going to happen this time. Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals is tonight. Will Boston steal another game in Miami? It depends on which Jason Tatum shows up. As Jason Tatum goes, the Boston Celtics go. If Jason Tatum doesn't come out being aggressive, looking for his shot, Boston is not going to do anything. Miami's going to run him out the gym. Uh, if Jason Tatum comes out aggressive, looking for his shot, the rest of the team seems to feed off of it. It's like a bug. So that's exactly what they do. They feed off of Jason Tatum. And as long as he's doing what he's supposed to do, I do believe Boston will come out with the win. I picked this game to go. I picked this series to go all 7 because they're both two good teams, two good defensive teams, and they play hard basketball. They both well coached. In NFL news, former Ohio State and Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback Dwayne Haskins, he was reported to be drunk on the day of his death when he was hit by a dump truck on I-595 in Florida. They reported that his blood alcohol level was 0.20, well above 0.08 that is legal in Florida. It's still a tragedy. They say it was his death was an accident, but it's still a tragedy. Still praying. We should still be praying for his family. In tennis news, former #1 female tennis player Naomi Osaka was bounced in the first round, 7-5, 6-4. In an interview after her match, excuse me, in an interview after her match, the 4-time Grand Slam champion said that she hasn't made up her mind yet whether she's going to play or not. We'll vote out to see what she's going to do. Excuse me. WNBA star Brittany Griner could be released in a possible prison exchange with Russia. Russians will let Griner go in exchange for a convicted arms dealer, Victor Bout. Griner has been detained in Russia, in a Russian jail, since February, with no trial date set because they keep pushing the date further and further out. So let's continue to keep her in prayer. Excuse me. Let's continue to keep her in prayer, as well as those in Texas. Like we've been talking about it all morning. Something has to be done. I don't know what it is. But we got to get some type of gun control going on. Let's continue to lift those families up, not just in Texas, but in Buffalo also. Uh, the U.S. is turning into the Wild Wild West. This is ridiculous. But something has to be done. That's sports. Game over. Back to Isaiah for more news.
Thank you, Mr. Kenny, for all that you do for informing us
Yep.
on the sports during the week. A lot of people were saying that the Warriors need to close out the series. Listen, I thought the Warriors were going to close it out last
I thought
night.
it was over last night. I didn't even pay attention. I woke up this morning and see they lost.
I thought it was going to be a clean sweep, but Curry going to get in Game 5. We
Yeah,
know
he's
how
gonna do
Curry.
something. He's
Yeah,
gonna do
Curry.
something. Yeah, he's gonna do something. Now, I just want to let everybody know. Have a good weekend. Be safe, and I'll see y'all on Tuesday.
Yes, sir. See you later then.
All right. Okay.
All right, y'all. It's time for kind of my version of a inspirational message. And it's something that I titled it something that hits home for me. It's called My Brother's Keeper. Um, those of you who know me know I have a younger brother named Isaac, who is on the autism spectrum, and you know he means the world to me. Um, I mean, like I would do anything for that guy. I would, without question. And what's been going on in this country lately, in Buffalo and in Texas, I worry for my brother. Not because, I'm his big brother, I'm supposed to worry, but every time he leaves his house, I worry for him. And, I worry for everybody part of his generation. Um, you know, when someone asks me, what does it mean to be my brother's keeper? It means you're willing to do whatever it takes to make sure that he has what you have, but 3 times more. So, you know, to be my brother's keeper is something I definitely take to heart. I don't play about my siblings, or my family. Um, so to be my brother's keeper is kind of like my foundation, my reason, my why I do what I do. And some someone who's been a big brother to me, um, or the big brother to a community, is someone I do media with. His name is Sterling Carter. Um, he has just been the best mentor, in terms of teaching me new things about film and media. Um, and he's not only teaching me, but he's also teaching the kids of Linden. Um, this past Friday, we did we had a filming session at Linden McKinley, um, in Linden McKinley High School, and we were filming these 6-word seminars, or memoirs. Let me not say seminars, but 6-word memoirs, of the students of Linden McKinley. And they had this be the one program where it's a program where students can come in to this judgment free safe zone, and they basically talk about all the traumatic things they've seen in their lives. um, and it was so empowering to see, because the news only talks about the negative of Linden. They don't talk about the community outreach that goes on in Linden, whether it be with the schools, um, whether it be with the children, whether it be with their partnership with Nationwide. Sometimes they don't really talk about the positives, and that's something else that I don't really like about the news, about watching the news. They only talk about the negative. They don't really talk about the positive, especially going the positive in the African American communities. I wonder why. But Sterling is definitely someone I consider a big brother. He's taught me a lot about media, about film, about Lyndon even. He's someone that is, definitely doing a lot of great things with Lyndon. And, I just pray that God continues to bless him, bless his brand, his vision, and, just to continue to, not only have his hands on Sterling, but also have his hands on communities like Linden, places like Buffalo, and like Texas. To be your brother's keeper is to make sure that, you know, your brother is good. Not don't just check in on him. Make sure he's actually good. Hold a conversation with him. Get to know your brother, even if he's not actually your brother. That's the best thing about being your brother's keeper. He doesn't have to be your blood brother. You don't have to be related. Um, I'm considered a brother's keeper to a lot of kids in my community. Lori Wallace, you can attest to this. Her son Moses, I love Moses, man. I love him. He he just has this vibrant energy to him that kind of reminds me of myself when I was a kid. And it's not just Moses. It's other kids who are in my community or who go to my church that look up to me, and that lets me know that I gotta not only be my brother's keeper to Isaac, but to other children who look at me and who just vibe towards me, man. It's all about the youth and the next generation, building that foundation, building up their leadership, their confidence, being their brother's keeper. Those come into play. So, man, we talked about a lot today. We talked about a lot. Lori Wallace says you surely did. You were truly one of his favorite people. He saw you on here this morning and didn't want to leave to go to school. Now I won't disrupt his education now, but this is the reason why I love to do what I do, to inspire the youth. I'm still part of the youth technically on the young adult side, but to inspire the youth and to let them know that yeah, times are tough right now, and we don't really know all the answers, but if we're there for each other, if we talk, if we communicate, if we don't keep all these emotions bottled up, if we vent, if we cry, if we if we write something down, however you deal with what you're dealing with, it's it's important to let it out. Talk to somebody. Talk to you know it's important to be the change, not only in your community, but be the change wherever you go. It's just so important that you make a change. It doesn't have to be something huge. It can be something minor. Start off small and then work your way up. Build your foundation. Be the change. Be the light in your community. right now when the country is in its dark place. Shine your light on your community, y'all. Be the change. So with that being said, I just want to thank y'all for allowing me to be the host for News and Motion today. Um, I'm not even gonna lie, I was looking forward to this today. Um, I was just looking forward to this because I know it was gonna be hard to talk about, but it needed to be talking about, y'all. And like I said earlier, if the change doesn't happen in office, we need to vote somebody in who will make a change, because silence speaks louder than words ever could. So I'm Isaiah Jones. Thank you for tuning in to News in Motion. There will not be a show tomorrow or Monday because of Memorial Day. So take time this weekend to recharge yourself. Um, Take time to, reflect, heal. Take time for you, but also take time for the youth. Take time for your community. And we will see y'all on Tuesday. Stay well. Be blessed.